What's good? The 49ers have some issues, and it clearly starts at the top. I'm talking about the head coach.
Breezie this, breezie that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Breezie this, breezie that. Ain't nobody working like Breezie, and that's a fact. Overmotivated is an understatement. Gold-blooded to the core, got your squad hating. Breezie make it look easy. Breezie on everything like 05, 067 Wheezy. This is not a game. Yeah, we faithful in every way. And even though we on the East Coast, very loyal to the Bay. Heavy red and gold every day. And if you really a Niner fan, I know you can relate. Applying pressure with this content like Smaller Bear. We not accepting no slander about Trey, so beware. I stay in exclusively Niner hats. And I always tell the truth, this exclusively Niner facts. Breezie this, breezie that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Yeah. Breezie this.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Breezie, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate you. I told you I was going to pop up with some type of live show. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it, depending on the connection and everything that's out here. I'm out on an island. I'm out in Nantucket right now with my guy, my mentor, Mr. Timmy Meyer. We got some shows we got to do. We got one more show today. Then I'll be headed back to Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? But listen, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how I feel about the whole coaching situation when it comes to Kyle Shanahan and things like that. Now, is he a good coach? Is he not a good coach? Is he a good play caller? Is he not a good play caller? We're going to get down to all of that. We're going to recap some stuff from the game from my perspective. After watching film, I got some different takes on things and things like that. We're going to give you my grades. I'm going to go over my grades. I know today is Kahoot Wednesday, but we won't be doing Kahoot Wednesday today. We'll try to kick it in and add it into tomorrow's show. All right, so I still want to give some stuff away, but we'll do it tomorrow when I have everything. I'm at home. I'm in front of my system and things like that. Give me the thumbs up, guys, if you guys are rocking and you can hear everything nice, loud, and clear. I'm on a portable setup. I just want to make sure things are good. The connection is good, all that good stuff. As soon as I see that thumbs up, we'll keep it going, but we'll go ahead and get through the formalities of the show. All right, guys, make sure you can go. You can now. The cool thing about YouTube is now you can find everything if you just go to @WayneBreezie. How cool is that? YouTube now has handles. All right, YouTube has handles. So make sure you go to youtube.com/WayneBreezie. If you don't want to type in the whole web browser, just go on YouTube and type in @WayneBreezie. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the thumbs up right now as we speak. Hit it, hit it, hit it. Bam, like it, hit it, bam, hit it, bam. Know what I'm saying? Hit that thumbs up button, man. You already know what it does to the algorithm for YouTube. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe. You can also become a member today. Shout out to all the members that are out there. I see you, Terra Dome. Miss Debbie's in the building. Peachy's in the building. Jerome's in the house. Everybody that's out there, I appreciate all the members. Eddie G, my man, 50 grand. Love you, bro. All right, man. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that. If you're watching on Twitch and you're not already following the channel, and you haven't subscribed to the channel, check this out. You can subscribe for free. Use your Amazon Prime account. All right. www.twitch.tv/WayneBreezie. To all the members on the Patreon, we're looking into and we're encouraging to build the Patreon community up there. We're going to have a really, really cool giveaway from one of our Patreon members. She donated something, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that to all the Patreon members out there. So if you become a member of the Legends tier, I believe that's the highest tier that we have at this moment. If you become a member for 11th tier and you subscribe for the year, you will be able to enter a free game giveaway. We're going to give away a ticket to one of the home games of your choosing or whatnot. So make sure you guys become a member of the Patreon, www.patreon.com/WayneBreezie. We'll do more details on that as well. Twitter, super follow @WayneBreezie. I see some of the super followers are going away. That's fine, no problem. That platform might not be for you. But remember, every first of the month, we do a giveaway for all of the super followers. So if you're not a super follower on Twitter, that's fine. Just make sure you're following. If you are a super follower on Twitter, get ready for that monthly giveaway away because it's almost time. Instagram, follow at WayneBreezie2. There's the website, www.twben.com. All right. Don't forget to email WayneBreezie at twben.com. And then you can find the latest in 49ers news from www.49erswebzone.com. I should have a couple of articles coming out very shortly. Make sure, guys, when you see these articles, we need you to share. It's the most important. Shares count, shares matter. So make sure when you see these articles, especially by your boy Breezy, you go ahead and hit that share button, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Just share the article. All right. Make sure you guys do that. And if you haven't already been sharing the articles, go back to 49erswebzone.com and share the articles as we speak. All right. Shout out to our promos. Go to www.residency.com. You can see I'm rocking the black snapback. You know, I'm rocking that snappy snap from our sponsors at Residency. Use the promo code SFBreezy. Save on your purchase today. Okay. It's been a minute. You guys probably have been trying to figure out, like, where the hell have I been? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's been a minute. I was out in Atlanta with the crew, nitty gritty crew, the 49ers Rush crew. We were out there just chilling, having a good time. And we didn't get the win. Just so that you guys know, like, a little bit, like, I've just been going through some personal things. Like, my father's not doing well. So please keep him in your prayers. I had got the news the day of the game. Like, we were at the tailgate, and then I got a text message from my aunt saying my dad had to be rushed to the hospital. This is that and the third. So it was kind of like a really melancholy day, and I was really hoping the 49ers could have pulled out a win so I could continue to provide that energy. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good, man. I'm getting back to it. I'll give you some updates on my dad as we go along, but I'm hearing that he's doing a little bit better. So just keep my dad in your prayers. Keep me in your prayers too. I kind of get a little emotional when I hear certain news that has to deal with health. So just make sure you guys do that for me. Please keep Peachy and her father in your prayers as well. You know, she's a member, and she's a really good friend of mine, someone that I definitely look up to. And I want to make sure you guys keep her family, keep her dad in your prayers as well. He's just keep him in your prayers. All right. So let's go ahead and get down to the show. Look, I rewatched this game twice. Don't ask me why I put myself through rewatching the game twice. I watched it full and then condensed, right? And then it got boring, a lot boring. Because obviously we couldn't score any points in the second half. Okay, so it got a little boring out there. I don't even know where to begin when we talk about the game. So I tell you what, I don't even want to talk about the game. Let's just do a couple of roster moves. 49ers, Ben Kurt and Kadar Hallman have been signed to the practice squad. And then they also released Buddy Johnson and Sam Sloman from the practice squad. So we got 2 up, 2 down. All right. Ben Kurt is back as a quarterback, and Kadar Hallman, the cornerback, is back as a quarterback. Let's talk about the Kadar Hallman situation. I think that's one of the key ones. Now, is he going to line up in the slot? Now, look, when you think about this game and our depth, the Kadar Hallman, he was with the team throughout training camp and all that good stuff, and he just didn't make the cuts. I'm a little bit. Thank you, Peachy. And thank you, Perk. Thank everybody out there. I'm a little bit concerned of what the 49ers are going to do at the cornerback side. So we know we lost Mosley for the season. It doesn't appear that Kyle Shanahan is all in on Ambry Thomas. Diamador Lenore got toasted and roasted. Samuel Womack got beasted and measted. Yeah, I'm making up words because they weren't ready. Everybody's like, yo, put Womack in there. Put Lenore on the outside. No, they was not ready. They was not ready for Mariota and them sorry-ass Falcon weapons they got out there. They just weren't ready. So I didn't expect them to bring Holman back. I thought that they would bring back Darqueze Dennard, who's more of your slot guy. Perk, this is it. Perk, this is it. They was getting whooped. I love the way you spell whooped. They was getting whooped. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, dang, you know. But the passing defense wasn't the worst. They gave up 2 touchdowns, but they weren't the issue, in my opinion, when it came to that. You know what I'm saying? They weren't the issue. Kali, this is good. This is important. Breezy, what you hearing on the JV sword? This is a setback. He's not ready. I'm hearing, my word is that he's just not ready. And they won't put him out there until they meaning the team, the organization, feels like he's ready. They won't put him out there until they feel like he's ready. And it's unfortunate because they re-signed him for the 1-year deal. We talk about Jason Verrett, guys. They re-signed him to the 1-year deal, and you also signed Mooney Ward, and then you had Mosley coming back on his last year of the contract, and it was like a perfect storm for the 49ers if they can remain healthy and give JV enough time to reacclimate back to his health. And I think that's what the 49ers are really trying to do. They won't put him back out there, and then he has a mishap like he did in that Pittsburgh game, week 3 in 2019, right? And so that's kind of what it was. Don't put him out there. Let him just recoup. We'll have to figure out a way to patch this. And there are many options out there, but I'm concerned because if Mooney's not able to go, it's going to be an issue going against some of these speedy Kansas City guys we're going to have to talk about. All right. We're going to have to talk about them. I see a lot of people joining in the show, and I appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming in. And I see you guys already, putting in, oh, this is the problem. Perfect. Please keep stating your problems. Please keep stating what the problem is over and over again. And I'll tie it into why I'm asking the question, is Kyle Shanahan the problem? Because honestly, everything goes full circle back to him. It just does. It's unfortunate, but it does, right? Because I think he's a good. I don't think he's a great head coach. I think he's good. Like, I think he's getting to becoming a good head coach. He does good things. Sometimes he does some great things, but in order to be great, it takes a lot to make a head coach great, and that comes down to execution. And I don't know if he has the players that can consistently execute the way that would help make him great. It is a lot. It's a lot. I am not by any means saying trade Kyle Shanahan, fire Kyle Shanahan. No, that's not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that Kyle has tendencies, and I'm trying to just focus on his coaching, but it's hard because he has these personality traits that I think inhibits his coaching. Like, I think it holds him down a little bit. All right. So yeah, Kadar Holman is on the PS. Look, Ambry, got to get it right. I don't even think Ambry played any snaps. I didn't see him on any of the film. I didn't get a chance to break down the defensive film. I mean, I spent hours on the offensive film because, look, I watched the offensive film and I left scratching my head like this. That's a good thing, though. It's a good thing. Trust me. It's a great thing that I left scratching my head. Why? Because it can be fixed. There were small, minute miscommunications on all facets from the offense that I feel like can be adjusted and fixed. Okay? Boom. All right. So look, I love it. I love you guys out there in the chat. You guys are putting up some really cool stuff, and I'm going to get to some of it. I promise. So yeah, those are the news. As far as injuries is concerned, because you asked about JV's injury, here's what David Lombardi had to say about the latest when it comes to the 49ers and their injuries. Look, there's a good chance Trent Williams plays on Sunday. There's a good chance Nick Bosa plays, Mooney, Ward, and Mike McGlinchey. Mike McGlinchey and Ward are listed day to day. Now, as far as Hufanga, he's pending the concussion protocol. Now, he can pass this protocol, and if he passes the protocol, he'll be cleared to play. Now, it's the defense clearly needs certain key pieces to function. I think the offensive line has been the best functioning part of this team with when factoring in injuries. What do I mean by that? All right, because I know that sounds crazy and what I'm saying, but hear me out. The offensive line has been the most consistent, playing well position group on the team, factoring in the injuries. No Trent Williams. All right, cool. Colton McKivitz, go out there, get hurt. All right, cool. Jalen Moore, get beat a couple of times, don't look too good. That's the left side, right? Most consistent player on the offensive line has been Aaron Banks all season, second-year player. Second most consistent player on the offensive line, in my opinion, has been Spencer Burford, rookie, right side. I tell you what, Mike McGlinchey was having his best game against the Atlanta Falcons until he got injured. And then you had to factor in Daniel Brunskill. Now, let me just remind you, the offense gave up 0 sacks. They gave up some pressures, but 0 sacks. They were also giving, this might have been the best damn pass protecting offensive line I've seen in this particular Atlanta Falcons game in Kyle's tenure. Sorry, I know Trent wasn't out there, but this pass protecting offensive line in that game was pretty darn good. Run blocking, whole nother story. Whole nother story. They just were terrible. And I wonder it's because of the injury to Mike McGlinchey and they couldn't really get out to that right side. We'll talk about that just a little bit. But here are the injuries again. Trent Williams, Nick Bosa, Mooney Ward, and Mike McGlinchey are on the up and up. Means it's trending up. They're going to be to play Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs, which you want them out there. Nick Bosa out there, we already know what that does, guys. That makes your defense go from a D+ to a B+. Just one player. You go from a D to a B, just like that, and D+ to a B+, just like that. One player. And if you don't know how or why, it's simple. Dude takes up 2 people, 2.5. Because there's always a they're always double teaming him, and then the tight end. I'm like, damn, just double him, right? Sometimes teams get caught slipping and they leave him one-on-one. So Nick Bosa definitely does that. Trent Williams is going to upgrade the offensive line because here's the thing. You're going to get the best pass protecting guy out there, and then just God forbid there's a setback or two, a little setback. The depth has been playing good. All right. And I like that I didn't put a poll question up there because when you guys enter the room, you guys are coming in with your answers. As I see them, I'm going to try to pop them up because I don't have 2 computer screens. I'm on this, but VZ408 says Kyle is the problem. Yeah, we had it way worse before Kyle came in, and remember those dark days. He wants you to remember, hey, what a nice twist, VZ408, to our Wind Back Wednesday, right? Wind Back Wednesday. We're going to wind back. We've seen some dark days. Here's the thing, though, VZ. We moved past the dark days. And I think the expectations for Kyle Shanahan is to alleviate us from the dark days, which he has brought us out. He's brought us to 2 NFC championships and a Super Bowl in his tenure. So 3 things out of this is his 6th year. So we've come out of those dark days. But here's the thing. I'm like, I still don't feel like there's some type of consistency when it comes to what we're going to get with Kyle Shanahan. And there's so many things you could factor into that, right? Injuries, players. Oh, I tell you what, my brother Collie and I, we were doing this activity yesterday. Or was it the day before? Can't remember. I can't remember if I was at the airport or whatever. Anyway, we were doing this activity, and I think it was yesterday. And we were going back and forth, and him and I, Callie proposed a question like something about the talent. And I said that I feel like we don't have enough talent, right? To sustain or win certain types of games. And he was like, well, we got the talent. And I was like, no, we do have talent, but I don't think we have the best talent. So then I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's do a little exercise. I think it was yesterday because thank you, Kylie. Because the question stimulated from Monday when I was at the airport, and then it made me think. And so I had to do some research, and I went back to 2019. Actually, I went back to 2015 with Kyle Shanahan as the offensive coordinator. 2015, his offense was ranked what, 21st with the Atlanta Falcons, right? And 2016, his offense was ranked first. So you can kind of do something there. Then and I see Teradon says we got a lot of talent. We do have a lot of talent, but do we have talent at the right positions? And so that's the question. Like, and then you can factor, can Kyle tap into that talent? Because we do have a lot of talent, but is it the right talent? Like, you get what I'm saying? So, like, for example, let's look at if we look at the 2019, right? Look at the 20, and everybody's saying we got plenty of talent. I feel you. For me, talented people don't drop passes though. So not wide open passes. They might drop contested passes, but wide open passes. Ugh. But check me out. 2019 team. Would you say that the 2019 team, and guys, just yes or no, was the 2019 team more talented than this 2022 team? Yes or no? Was 2019, did the 2019 team have more talent than the 2022 team? I'm just curious to know. Drops, they could be mental. All right, they could. I think part of talent is getting open, but you got to also finish. So finishing that goes with talent. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. We got to know. Here we go. This is what I was waiting for. All right. So the 2019 team isn't more talented than the 2022 team. Ooh, I don't have anything written out for you guys. We'll start this and then we'll go ahead and we'll add to this for tomorrow's episode. Okay. Perk Dog says no. Let's see. We get some more answers. Teardome says no. The 2019 team is not more talented than the 2022 team. I love it. Troy says yes. Ooh. Dion says no. Ronnie says no. Kat says no. James says yes. Eric says yes. Now you're adding in things like that. Okay. Kali is saying, Kali's saying yes. Yesterday shit, I thought you were saying no. Wait a minute. You're saying that the 2019 team was more talented. So we did this exercise and we actually broke down each position group. So on tomorrow's episode, we're going to compare and just compare the position groups from the players, each position. Quarterback, same. Wide receivers, different. Running backs, different. Like, think about offensive line, different. Think about all the position groups, guys. When you're thinking of talent, think of all the position groups. All right. Bebop says when healthy, no. Oh, you put that. What does Mose and Fear say? Stipulation in there? I don't know. I still might disagree. And so what we'll do is we'll take out the talent. We'll do the offense and the defense. We'll break it down. So tomorrow's episode, we're going to break down. We're going to preview the game. Right? We're going to talk about the stats. We're going to break down what Kansas City does and all that good type of stuff, right? And then Friday, you guys can call in. But listen, I don't know. It's tough because that 2019 team was talented. Thank you, Teradone. That 2019 team was talented, motherfucking Ted. Matter of fact, it was so talented that Jimmy Garoppolo won a game. Let that shit sink in for a second. Some people say he won more than one game. Kylie, tell me, Cardinals game, right, bro? And this is Peachy. Has this not been your staple? The vets. I tell you right now, first few weeks of 2019 were like, oh, sugar snaps. What are we going to do? They trade for Emmanuel Sanders. The wide receivers go up the trending. We're not going to stay here, but yeah, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? They just go up. They just trend up. The moment they inject Emmanuel Sanders, births Debo. Just think about that. I knew you was going to say that. Jeff Wilson Jr. won one of those games, but you could say Jimmy Garoppolo won. If Jeff doesn't catch that pass, you wouldn't be saying Jimmy's ass. I can tell you that right now. But guys, if you just think about it, so when we're talking about talent, yes, the 49ers have a load of talent in 2022. It's just not developed, and that's kind of where I'm going, and where Callie and I was going yesterday. Like, it's just underdeveloped. Like, it's not there yet. All right. And for me, my optimism is you got to give it time. And so after watching this Atlanta game and after being sad and turning into mad, like, I went from the sad king to the mad king to the optimistic king to saying, like, yo, that's why my take that I think that they will beat the Kansas City Chiefs in high fashion. High fashion. Y'all know what that shit means. It's a term. It's an expression. It don't mean they're going to wear designer cleats. They all wearing designer cleats, damn it. But they're going to win. They're going to win in high fashion. I know we got some Chiefs fans in here, and they're uber confident in their team. Guess what? Y'all asses got beat too on Sunday. All right? You didn't get punched in the mouth, but y'all got beat. I can tell you right now, you're not going to come into San Francisco or Santa Clara and think you're going to walk away with a gosh darn win. I can tell you that right now. So there are many reasons why I feel like the 49ers are going to win that game. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But let's just break down some of the key things to this game, right? Kyle Shanahan, again, I think is on his way to being a great coach. I think he's good. But there's still some things that he lacks as a coach. And everybody saw that sense of urgency. Okay, so I wasn't understanding. Excuse me, Dynamite Dave told me stay up the weed, man. Listen, some good shit. The sense of urgency, I wasn't grasping the concept of Kyle not having a sense of urgency until I went back and rewatched the game. Now, I remember I was at the game, but Kyle was doing this long play drive, and it just wasn't resulting into anything. Like, you know what I mean? And so I was just like, what do they mean he doesn't have the sense of urgency? All right, the reason why they lost this game starts with the coaching. It starts with the coaching putting his players out there in the best positions to win, regardless of who those players are. Starts with the coaching. So on the offensive side, there's no. What's going on, Johnny Dale? Shout out to Johnny, man. We're going to be doing a show tomorrow. I'll make sure you guys have the details on that show. Johnny's going to break down his top 5 plays of the game and give you a good breakdown on there right here on this channel, man. So make sure you guys check it out. Tune in tomorrow. When I'm looking, like, it starts with the coaching. Like, offensive side, unfortunately, there's no offensive coordinator. So Kyle's going to get the bulk end of everybody's frustrations, right? He's going to get the bulk end. Now, watching the film and watching the game is two completely different things. Two things, completely different. Watching the game, you're frustrated. You're watching the film, you can be like, all right, Kyle. See what I'm saying? So I know everybody's upset and angry at Kyle, and some people feel like he's the problem, and some people feel like he has to go away and things like this. And John V's talking about, hey, the 6 to 8 minutes wasted driving down the field is a great. I got you. But that's not Kyle Shanahan's fault. So hear me out. Was he mismanaging time? Watching it in real time? Absolutely. But you got to go back and look at the game plan of the game. And the game plan was, you got to take what the defenses are giving you. How many times did we connect it deep and it counted? Once. One time. Sorry, 0 times. Because even on the fight, that connection deep, it was a penalty by Jake Brendel. So again, the 49ers shot themselves in the foot. That's not Kyle Shanahan's fault. That is center committed just about all the goddamn penalties from the offense in that game. It's not his fault. Center shouldn't be getting these penalties. So you got to look at it like, all right, Kyle dialed up some plays. Brett Brooks, this is the perfect example of what I'm trying to say. There was missed throws and there were drop passes. And thank you, Brett, for saying that there were missed throws and there were drop passes. Because as much as people are praising Jimmy, he had a lot of missed throws. He had more missed throws than drop passes. And this is not a shot at Jimmy. This is consistently what Jimmy does. A lot of missed throws, few drop passes. It's just that the drop passes happened at critical moments where guys were wide open. I think the worst drop pass wasn't the Ray pass. The worst drop pass wasn't the Charlie Warner pass. For me, the worst drop pass was on first down to Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk completely had his man beat. Terrell was beat on a quick slant to the right. Easily beat. Jimmy throws the ball low. Why? Because A, he doesn't want to get his receiver hurt because y'all complain about him throwing too many hospital balls, me included. I'm in that. Don't throw him high. Just throw him low. Your guy won't get decapitated and his ribs broken, and he can get down and catch the ball. That's number one. Two, Brandon had the guy beat and just couldn't reel the ball in. Mariah, what's going on? Couldn't reel it in. And the reason why I said that was the most important throw, because the 49ers were trailing by 7 at that time. And that play, they were marching down the field. And on that particular play, it was getting Jimmy Garoppolo and the offense back into some type of rhythm. It was getting them into rhythm. And this is my main purpose why this is not Kyle Shanahan. It's not on Kyle. Kyle is trying to find ways to get his offense into a rhythm. Usually, you're supposed to run the ball. Usually. NorCal, that ball, oh yeah, high and behind. You're right. Those are normally Jimmy's throws. Mike Nichols says everybody wants to talk about before Kyle got there. They were going to hire another Jim Tomsula, please. He's had 6 years and supposedly an offensive guru. We've had the worst offense in the NFL. Contraire, Moon Frere. Because in 2019, the 49ers had the fourth best offense in the NFL. And this is why my activity on the talent came into play. Because I do agree and feel that 2019 offense was more talented from the offensive line to the ball boy. I think they were just more talented. Even the coaching might have been more talented, right? And then you lost coaching, you lost players, you got new ones, you got new talented players, but the talent then was probably developed, whereas the talent here is still developing. You get what I'm saying? Therefore, we're seeing drop passes and things like that. Now, when you look at Kyle Shanahan and his offensive scheme, my man Tony called me today while I was eating breakfast, and he wanted to confirm that we saw exactly the same. It's what I love about Tony. He wanted to confirm that him and I, with different eyes, saw the exact same thing. Now, the reason why I picked that pass by Brandon Ayuk being the most critical one is because the 49ers were trying to get in rhythm on first down. If you go back and rewind the game to the beginning, what was the first play from the line of scrimmage? What was the first play from the line of scrimmage for the 49ers at the beginning of the game? Who could tell me? Was it a run or a pass? You don't got to tell me what the play was. Just tell me if it was a run or a pass. Tell me. The first play of the game for offense, the 49ers did what? Did they pass the ball or run the ball? I'll wait till I get something. They ran the ball. In the last two games, the last two 49er victories, their first plays have been passing plays. Why? To get Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers offense into a rhythm. Instead, we did this. And it was a weird ass toss, Ronnie. It was like a flip to the left, and you're like, huh? And there was no blocking. The run blocking was terrible in this game. Terrible. Which means right away, the 49ers are they got to play down in distance. They're like, now it's 2nd and long. Instead of getting a 4-yard pass or a 1-yard pass to your playmaker and let them try to get 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11 yards. That was one of the main differences. Now, that is where you guys come and say, all right, Kyle, your play calling sucks. He was trying to flip it. I think he was trying to really figure out a way to punch these guys in the mouths. I'm not running the ball up the middle on Grady Jarrett, first play of the game, knowing Grady Jarrett is just as fresh as hot cross buns coming out of the oven, and he's going to stop the middle. That's what they do. That's what he does. He's an all-pro defensive tackle. That's what Grady Jarrett does, is stop the run up the middle. I wouldn't have did that. I would have forced those linebackers and those DBs to cover some of my skill set guys. Because at some point in the game, we had to go to it anyway. Oh my gosh, Terra Dome, you are not the only one. You are not, and I repeat, not the only one that hates tosses. But I understand that that's Kyle's offense. It's almost like Jimmy just being in the shotgun. You want Jimmy in the shotgun. I want Jimmy in the shotgun on certain plays. Not them run plays, but definitely when I need him in the shotgun. He can see everything and hopefully be able to check down when he's in the shotgun. It doesn't, bro. It does not work. Anyway, I'm getting beside myself. Let me reel it back in. Okay. Listen, Grady Jarrett's an all-pro. I think you attack the outsides when it comes to Grady. The difference between the Falcons and the Panthers defense, I don't think it's much of a difference. The difference in this game, they weren't missing tackles. We couldn't break a shit. We couldn't break a leg. We couldn't break a tackle. We couldn't break anything. They made sure they wrapped and tackled. There was no hit stick. They were straight up 100% Pop Warner football tackling in this game. Whole game. They might have had one missed tackle, and I think that was on a George Kittle play screen, and it's because he squared up his shoulders and they couldn't get him at the top. He just was too big. Pause. I think that's what it was. Anyway, listen. I'm saying that to say that Kyle is weird because if you want to blame Kyle, I understand. But I don't blame Kyle for the execution. So it's like his players fail him every week. And you will only see it if you watch the Johnny Dell's breakdowns, the John Chapman breakdowns, my breakdowns. You'll only understand what we mean when we say it's not Kyle. He's not the problem. Not when it comes to play calling. It's just his timing sucks. And I think that is where Kyle struggles. Timing. And that's why yesterday on the John and Wayne show, John asked me, hey, Breezie, if you were in charge, what's one thing you would do differently on the offense? First thing that came to mind was hire an offensive coordinator. Checks and mother freaking balances. Checks and balances. I don't care if Kyle still draws up the damn plays. The offensive coordinator is going to be able to check in and check out and keep Kyle Shanahan balanced when it comes to calling certain things just because he has a different set of eyes. You ever write a paper and you know you could write? You're a freaking writer for a living. Guess what they make also for a living? It's these people called editors. And they literally edit for a living. They literally take your works, your thoughts, your rights, and makes it sound better. I think Kyle needs an editor on the offense. And here we go. I was waiting for this. This is why I freaking love y'all. Eric Vaughn says we have one. Anthony Lynn. He is not the offensive coordinator. Anthony Lynn is an assistant head coach and a running backs coach. I thought, Eric, that Kyle would have made him an offensive coordinator. I thought. I did, Martin. I saw 4, if I'm not mistaken, 4, maybe 5 play action plays Jimmy lined up under the center. Definitely. Some of them plays went down the damn field and was incomplete. Matter of fact, the Ray McCloud one was that was a beautiful play action play. Martin, the fake handoff, the drop back, time. Jimmy had so much time, he could brush his teeth, gargle, and spit it out, and still get the ball down the field, and Ray still would have probably dropped it. So the whole purpose of this episode, guys, and I'm not leaving yet, but the whole purpose of this episode is to show you why, if you think Kyle Shanahan is the problem, he's not the problem. And whether you want to critique him on his time management, fine, that's cool. I think he sucks at time management, and he has to call timeouts when he shouldn't have to call a timeout. And I agree. I think he struggles at that. Lake City Fresh says, okay, Breezie, I'ma say it. I feel like they sacrificed the Falcons game to get everyone. We're not going to have this conversation, bro. We just not going to have this conversation. Why? Because I agree with you. And I know people are like, oh, Breezy, you conspiracy. No, listen. Kyle, look. Check Kyle Shanahan's injury track record. That shit ain't great. It's bad. As a matter of fact, it's the worst in the league, and it has been for the past 5 seasons. And sometimes playing on turf, doing this 2 weeks in a row, you guys ever been traumatized before? Sometimes you have traumatic flare-ups, and it makes you not want to, it just makes you timid. And I saw timidness in my head coach probably for the first time in this game. It was like he wasn't playing to win. He was playing to not lose either. He was just playing to get out, if that makes any sense. Terradome, thank you for the contribution. I don't have my sound effects. Breezy, that's why I'm going to try to read it like you. Breezy, that's why I say Kyle may be a fashion designer, but he's not a stylist. Bro, whatever analogy you want to use, I understand it. Matter of fact, I overstand it. Kyle is a great play caller. Kyle is a great play caller. Kyle's a great play designer, but he might not be a great play caller, because calling great plays have to come at the right time, and our head coach just struggles with his timing. That's it. Far as being a coach. Now talk about his personal stuff. Personal stuff is another show. We did that last season. Kyle has to look in the mirror and be like, listen, I'm stubborn. I got to get out of my stubbornness. I got to trust people. That's the whole different episode. Bam. You got to coordinate. I don't got the mushrooms in the jacket, but you best believe I got on red hoodie. I got red. Can you see the red? Oh, that was hard to look. That hurt. I got red shoes. You got to coordinate. And that's what it comes down to. All right? Look, I'm going to tell you right now. The more I sit back and I think about how we lost this game and how we're going to be okay, I think the 49ers are going to be fine. I got to run to the bathroom really quickly. Just give me 1 second and I'll be right back. All right? Do. Woo! Gotta stay off the cheese, yo. Had to pass gas. All right, here we go. So this is what told me to light a match. I love it. I didn't want y'all to hear me fart. That's what it was. Look, Tony is ready for Friday. I love it. Listen, we've been doing the Madden simulations, and them joints have been crazy. And I can't wait to see what Friday comes down to. You know, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Now, what is a fart? Is a fart like a 1.5? Is that what we call it? I got a 1.5. I had a 1.5. I'm hoping the mic muted, but I had to let that out. It was that leg lift, yo. I had stretched the muscle, You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Send me a text message and remind me to make sure to. I didn't go to the bathroom. I thought I had to go to the bathroom. It was gas. Relax. Anyway, let's get back to this joint, man. Look, I got to do my grades. I think Kyle Shanahan isn't the issue when it comes to the team winning and losing. Watching Kyle Shanahan draw up these plays, watching the plays not be executed properly is the issue, right? And even though the 49ers were dug themselves in a hole, even though the defense wasn't on point, because the defense needs to make my biggest gripe with Kyle Shanahan is him being able to adjust on the fly. So adjusting is one thing. Adjusting is like, all right, we got beat at this. Next week we won't get beat at that again. That's adjusting. Adjusting on the fly, though, is saying I got beat at this. You won't beat me at this and during the next series. And I thought, Rohan, my little brother Rohan pointed out to me, he doesn't see that that's an issue with Kyle Shanahan. So I went back and watched this game, and he adjusted on the fly. He actually adjusted on the fly, right? We stopped running the ball up the middle. We started throwing screens. They were working. Matter of fact, the screen game and Kyle's adjustments on the fly is the reason why we came back and got back from that 14-point deficit. Think about it, y'all. We were struggling. Jimmy got in a rhythm. Quick pass, screen, one run, screen, touchdown. Brandon Ayuk. I think it was 7 plays, so something like that. I'm trying to tell you, Kyle is doing the best he can with what he has. And I think it's more of a lack of talent, which doesn't allow you to execute properly. Lack of developed talent, let me say that, which doesn't allow you to execute properly. And we can say, oh, Breezie's using an excuse. No, I'm not. I'm just calling it like I see it. Like, you're watching talented guys drop passes. Let me ask you this. Is Charlie, so whose fault is what? The execution? Whose fault is just be more specific and whose fault, and I'll definitely get to your answer your question. When you look at the talent, or you're saying whose fault it is getting talent. Oh, Vlad says last I checked, he got rid of backs. Ooh. So let's talk about the talent. I'm glad you thank you. I appreciate you, fam. The lack of talent. Look, there's a lot to factor in here with this, right? Because better talent is going to cost you money. Now, I don't think there's a coach in the NFL that tries to get the best bang for their buck more than Kyle Shanahan. I just don't think so. Tom, hello. The coach develops talent. You're right. They do develop talent, but usually it's over time. And the way Kyle Shanahan has been doing or setting up his development is I'm going to draft these players a year in advance. We're going to bring them in here and we're going to develop them. And sometimes it works out. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't, because sometimes your players get injured and now you got to insert an underdeveloped player. And then you see that the talent is there, but it's not developed. That's my point. Johnny Dell says, can't blame them for keeping guys with injuries and then get mad when they move on from guys. Yo, this is what we do, bro. This is who we are. You know, the faithful. Look, it's good when it's good and it's bad when it's good. Like, it's not good. This is what we do. Right. Raheem Mostert couldn't stay healthy. He gave you one healthy season in 2019. And remember, he wasn't even the starting running back in 2019. Then he cried about being the starting running back and getting paid starting running back money in 2020. And then he got injured. Like, it's just like, what are we talking about here? And then 2021, he didn't even play after they gave him the guaranteed money. And so they moved on. Yes, he was talented, but he couldn't stay healthy. So at some point, you got to move on from those guys. And yes, coaches develop talent. You're 100% correct, but it takes time to develop talent. Scott Boyles, plenty of talent. Quarterback is limited. Offense is solid. Quarterback is limited. But the 49ers prove that they can contest, not win because they lost, with a limited quarterback. They just had to play to his strengths. I actually think The fact that they were trying to go deep is what hindered them in this game. Why? Because screens were working, the shit wasn't broke, and we were moving the ball down the field. And the moment we decided to take the deep shots, which I love, the moment we decided to take those deep shots, now you're in 2nd and 10. Now you're trying to throw on 2nd and 10 because every time we tried to run it, we get 1 yard. It's weird, y'all. It's so weird. You're right, though. Just like my man Collie, my brother Collie, we do have plenty of talent. I just don't think that the talent is like fully developed. But I also agree and think that the quarterback is limited. I don't think the offense is solved. The Falcons had 0 answers for the screen game, and we stopped doing it to get the ball down the field to truncate the time, to make up for lost time. It's guys, think about what I'm saying. We took those shots down the field. We said Jimmy can't throw it deep. We take the shots down the field. We throw it deep. It would make up for a bunch of the time that all the screen stuff works. And again, there's nothing wrong with the screen game. I remember, what was the year Tom Brady and the Patriots just screamed the heaven out of the ball? I'm just gonna keep throwing screens. They can't stop it, so we'll just dink and dunk for a whole season long. Like, it's part of NFL, and either you're built to stop it or you're not. And I felt like it was working. Now, I love the deep shots, but when you're down a game and you know you got to get us now it's 2nd and 10, I don't know. It's weird. It's super weird. Are you guys doing our exercise for tomorrow already in the chat? You guys are cheating, but I love it. Keep cheating. Keep cheating. So, guys, look. Kyle Shanahan, listen, here's the bright side. We're 3-3. We're in first place in our division, and Kyle Shanahan is still growing. Now, there were reports out there, I believe. I'm trying to think who said it first. The 49ers are actually 1 game better than they were last year. Right? That's good. Okay. Niner Cali boy. Breezie. Mike said we should trade the best hands wide receiver, Ayuk. Do you agree? I need to know what Mike's context is, but just off the top of this, I'm not trading him. I'm not trading. I don't want to trade our wide receivers. I think in this particular game, I understand what Kyle Shanahan is trying to do. And I'll explain that in a second. But I saw Marcellus comment. Actually, throwing deep early opens up the run game. Yeah. The keyword, can you capitalize early and then retype it and then read it to yourself? Because that's the key. Early does. But I don't think that's the 49ers way, because the 49ers like long drives. They like methodical drives. They like to run a lot of motions. They like to figure out what the defenses are playing. They like to do a lot of stuff with their offense. It's just that they couldn't get going early. And though I agree throwing deep takes the top off the D, makes the defense play a little different. I think when whoever said that Jimmy was limited, I think the fact that he doesn't run the ball, like he doesn't direct that option, allows defenses to not play 11 on 11 football. And that's kind of what I think. And then that's kind of why he's limited, right? There was a comment. Shanahan, Melvin says Shanahan is wasting all this talent. He's not wasting it. Some of the talent we have, guys, is underdeveloped. It's still developing. All right. But I don't think he's wasting the talent. He's not wasting it at all. Dude, when Jimmy completes a throw to the sideline to a wide open Brandon Ayuk for like a 30+ yard gain, and then you're in the red zone, but it gets negated by untalented, in my opinion, center and Jake Brendel, like, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? Like what do you do? Right? Never mind the drop passes. That was a catch. That was a dime. And it got negated by a penalty. So, like, it's not like he's wasting the talent. It's just that his talent isn't coming through consistently. It's just not coming through consistently. You get what I'm saying? So everybody that's saying that we're talented, you're 100% correct. It's just that the talent isn't cohesive enough. And it could be for the simple fact that they just haven't been together. It could be for the simple fact that they're still learning one another. It could be a simple fact that they're still learning how to communicate. It could be something that's simple so that in week 9 and week 11 and week 15, they're flowing. It could be easily stuff like that. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Zombieland says, but penalties happen. Good quarterbacks can overcome. Yeah, listen, I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a good quarterback. I think he's good at what he does, but he's limited. I think we all can agree with that. But you can't get a penalty at the most critical point time in the game. You have to be more disciplined, and that's not on Kyle Shanahan. I know penalties are on the head coach, but that's not on Kyle Shanahan. I do feel that Brendel's ass should have been pulled, but at that moment you were down by 14. There was like 3 minutes left in the game, and you were just trying to put some points on the board. Excuse me. So there's so many intricacies to where you guys could think. Look, I love having this conversation, and I would love to continue it. You know what I'm saying, and things like that. And this is another thing that John and I were talking about this. John Chapman, make sure you guys are following his podcast. We were talking about this. The offense, if you turn over the ball offense, you cannot give them 7 points. At least let your defense come back on that field and try to stop them. That's not what happened. That was 7 points. The score should have been 21-14. But if you factor in our missed opportunity, I felt like, is it me or do the 49ers have the most missed opportunities in the NFL? I don't watch all the other 31 teams. I watched the Falcons, though. They didn't have any missed opportunities. But the 49ers are missing wide open guys. How about the George Kittle touchdown? That was wide open. Was that a miscommunication? Was that a timing issue? George Kittle didn't run to the deep post to the fade of the corner. Jimmy was throwing the ball there. We asked the quarterbacks to throw it there. Why? Because that's the only place that his guy can go up and make a play. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to either be a catch, an incomplete pass, or a penalty. I saw your comment, Lake City. I got to get to it. Just looking for it. It says, Breezy, do we overvalue our weapons? I feel like we have great talent, but who's elite out there? Who can we rely on? All right. So now I thought I was done with the show, but clearly I'm not, because this, Kylie, is what I was trying to allude to when I was talking about our talent. And so, yes, we have talent, but who's elite? I think that's what it is. If you go back and compare the 2016 Falcons to the 2022 49ers or the 2019 49ers, everybody would say that the Falcons offense is still superior than the 2019 offense. Why? Because that offense in 2016 with Kyle Shanahan and the Falcons was first, and then in 2019 it was fourth. But now let's look at the talent. You see where I'm going with this? Let's look at the talent. Because, yeah, both teams are talented. But doesn't some teams just have more of elite talent? Like, I think we lost to the Kansas City Chiefs because their talent was more elite than our talent. Their talent made plays when our talent was probably still underdeveloped or developing, right? Tyreek Hill is probably one of the only guys I know that could come back, catch that ball on a sack that should have been held by Nick Bosa. Like, it's just so weird. So I agree with you. It's tough. Julio Jones is probably one of the most talented wide receivers we've ever seen in the Kyle Shanahan era. I think it would be Julio, Andre Johnson, and then Deebo Samuel. Who are your top 3 wide receivers under the Kyle Shanahan era? Just period. Ever since Kyle Shanahan's been coaching, who would be your top 3? I gave you mine. I think it was Julio, Andre Johnson, Deebo Samuel. Who are your top three? I'm just curious to know. All right, while you guys are getting that up, I'm going to go ahead and go through my grades really quickly. Or should I save my grades for tomorrow? No, it's too late. Let me do my grades now. Top three wide receivers under the Kyle Shanahan era. All right, so first of all, I just want you guys to know overall, I know the 49ers look bad, but they ended up with a 74. And I'm going to break it down for you very quickly. But that's my overall grade for the 49ers. And believe it or not, I think the highest grade came from the special teams. Yep, it sure enough did. So I'll break them down for you. Now, for passing, we almost passed for 300 yards for the first time all season. 0 sacks, had 2 interceptions, but you had 2 TDs. All right, had two TDs. Ooh, look, James, we agree. Dion, we agree. Yes, Jeremy Curley. I love it. Emmanuel Sanders is a top guy. Santana. Oh, yes. 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 You guys are not funny, Cook Sports. That is not funny. That's not funny. I gotta get to this contribution. Shout out to my brother, Bro Montana. Breezie creates merch envy. Hat game next level. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys go to www.residency.com. Use that promo code SFBreezy. Go ahead and get you some of this fire merch. Represent your brand, your 49ers brand. Santana Moss is up there. Top 4 for me. Top 4. That catch was dope. Top 4. But let me go ahead and get to this list. I gave the passing offense a B. The offensive line obviously protected their quarterback in this game. He didn't get sacked. All right. The 2 interceptions, 1 interception came at the end of the half. Oh my gosh! If Jimmy, listen, they were playing prevent defense. I mean, prevent. It was like prevent from Madden. Like literally. I know we played that defense before. I never really seen any other team play that because no other team is really afraid of Jimmy throwing the ball down the field. Listen, Ray McLeod, I believe it was Ray McLeod. Don't get me, I could be wrong. Johnny Dell, correct me if I'm wrong. There was a route he ran. He was wide open coming across the middle. There was nobody at that 30-yard line. He could have caught the ball at the 30. Hopefully, he would have caught the ball. Got to fix the camera. Hopefully, he would have caught the ball at the 30-yard line. And then he could have got to the 20. We could have got at least 3 points. We wouldn't have scored a touchdown. But we would have got at least 3 points. Went into the half down by 4. It was BA. I thought it was BA. I thought it was, but because I thought BA was lined up on the right side. Either way, it was a guy wide open. And I'm like, oh, if Jimmy would have just threw it that way and not threw it to the double coverage on Deebo Samuel and tried to get like a penalty or whatever, whatnot, man, we would have had 3, and it could have just been different. Everybody's saying it was BA, then it's B. If you say it's BA, then it's BA. Okay? I'm digging it. But yeah, I gave the passing offense a B-. Thumbs up, thumbs down if you agree. I'm gonna speed this up because I'm not gonna keep you guys too much longer. Rushing offense, I gave a D. Probably should have been a D-. 50 yards, 17 carries. That ain't it. Now if you the surgency, or excuse me, the sense of urgency, I did not see it from the running backs. I didn't think Jeff Wilson Jr. was running hard. He couldn't get through holes he normally gets through. I don't know if he's dealing with an injury. Didn't like the Tevin Coleman runs up the middle. There was so much I did not like about this rushing attack. And that is part of the problem. The rushing game is inconsistent. Bingo. Mitchell Welsh, the D was an F. I don't disagree with y'all grades. I gave it a D. I gave it a D. That's where I leave it at. It could have been, it probably was Ayuk over the middle on the Hail Mary. I thought Ayuk was lined up to the right side, but it might have been Ray McLeod on the right side with Deebo and Ayuk on the left side. Whoever the wide receiver was on that left side was wide open. All right, I'll rewatch it again. It's on my film breakdown, which will be available from the offense for the Patreon members in that $10, $20 tier. And then it'll also be available if you're a YouTube member. All right. So if you're a YouTube member, you'll get the video as well. Passing defense, I gave a B minus. I know a lot of people were like, "What?" Look, they only gave up 121 yards, and those 2 TDs were in the red zone. Trying to think, I can't remember. I didn't watch the defensive film yet. I can't remember who the first TD was on. It was on the tight end. So whoever was covering the tight end, Michael Pruitt just ran a dope route. It's just what it was. And then the second TD, in my opinion, was on Samuel Womack. They split out Kyle Pitts out to the left, and Kyle Pitts just ran a slant. And Womack hesitated, and then bam, there you go. Odom. It was Odom. Thank you. I knew because I think Hufanga had came out of the game with the concussion. He had went and got checked. It was Odom. But see, that happens. That's what I call a brain fart, right? Odom ain't played safety with the 49ers defense yet, right? And he comes in and then boom. Like there's a lot. There's a lot. And they're young guys, they're new guys, they're young guys. And when you usually have those young guys, you got to tip the cap to the offensive coordinator and the players from the other team for taking advantage of the weakness. That's what you do. That's what I wish we would do. Go after where they're weak. That's it. Bro, that's who they had lined up on them, dog. And listen, if Womack just would have played straight up press man, that's what I want to see. If he get beat on press man, then you give that man that touchdown. You give it to Pitts. You don't have him playing off Pitts, and you allow that 6'9" freak of a nature to get leverage on your cornerback who's a rookie who ain't playing on the outside all damn season long. That's D'Amico. And don't nobody want to talk trash about D'Amico, but he had brain farts too. Both coaches sucked. Both of them. That's why we lost this game. Players didn't execute because I don't think the coaches put the right people out there for the positions that they needed to be out there. All right. That's my grade on the DBs, on the passing. Rushing defense got a D minus. They were terrible. 168 yards of the touchdown. That's just a lot. That's just way too much. Look, they allowed the Atlanta Falcons to get two yards over their average per game, which is 166. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I don't give a fuck I don't care who running the ball. That's a lot of yards. And you gotta give them credit because Mariota wasn't spied at all. Dante John, never mind. Just it's what it is. It's just what it is. It is. Russian defense was terrible. My highest grade went to the special teams, and mainly because there was the return game. Yeah, I don't know how Raven McLeod gets tackled by a linebacker, but hey, he got tackled by rookie Troy Anderson out of Montana State. Why do I know who Troy Anderson is? Because I wanted the 49ers to draft him. That's why. Yeah. And so that's what I got. And overall, I ended up with a 74. I ended up with a 74. And yeah. I see people saying that Womack gave up Womack gave up 2 TDs. He gave up the TD on the Mariota run. And again, it's hard for me to blame a rookie. That's a 5th round draft pick, and you're asking them to go out there and do everything like they've seen it all in their entire life. It's hard for me to blame the rookie. It is. But he wasn't ready for that play. The Mariota shifted the offense. He followed his guy in man coverage, and Mariota took the ball to the outside, and he was able to get the touchdown. That's what happened on the play. That's what happened. I mean, That's probably a look he just never seen, and he followed his guy in man. He's probably told to play man, so he played man and gave up the containment on the outside. And the next thing you know, Mariota's running in for a touchdown. He tried to recover. He tried to recoup and get to that side. He just wasn't good enough. Just wasn't good enough. Oh my gosh, we've had over 150 plus people in here for over an hour, and I'm going to get out of here while because I got to get ready for a show and I got to do my defensive film breakdown. Here's the last question that I'm going to answer, and they want to know how I feel about McCaffrey. Listen, you give up a second in the fourth and you go ahead and get McCaffrey. Guys, stop hoarding picks. That's not what we do. We don't need to hoard picks. Why? Because we got too many players we got to develop now. So why draft a whole bunch of more players you still got to fucking develop? Why don't you go get a developed guy? How about that? I know a lot of people feel like Christian McCaffrey stays injured. Maybe he just doesn't want to freaking play for Carolina. Maybe Carolina's just trash. Maybe if he just came to San Francisco and you gave him a new scenery and you get him back under like a kid, the kid that used to babysit him, maybe it'll just work in his favor. I don't think he's dog shit. I don't think he's dog shit at all. I think Christian McCaffrey just need to be out of there. And look, we the only team in the NFL that doesn't want Christian McCaffrey. But here come Marketing Pro, because right off the top, you already know he's going to be a Ram. And for this particular type of offense, Christian McCaffrey would be perfect. You feel me? Why? Because that's where Jimmy likes to throw the goddamn ball, behind the line of scrimmage and 1 yard in front of the line of scrimmage. And I don't think Christian McCaffrey would get destroyed in this offense. I just don't. The offensive line is not bad. It's just that it's not built for these running backs that we have. Elijah Mitchell is probably Christian McCaffrey-esque. Unfortunately, he's injured. Now, do we need Christian McCaffrey? That wasn't the question. That's who we need. And now I don't want Deron Payne. You already know who I want. I want my cousin, Derek Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, man. Whoever's live right now covering the 49ers, please go jump on there, give them some support. Tell them Breezie sent you. Stay up, stay faithful. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m., I believe. I should be home ready to go. We're going to do our regular show. We're going to add in the Kahoot challenge so we can give some stuff away. We're going to break down this game. All right. I love you. Stay up. Stay faithful. All right. Keep it nitty and keep it gritty, guys. Peace out. Thanks for watching.